Girls, them girls, some girl out here, she's got Jaden Daniels' wall, and her mama said, hey, honey, you're gonna be the one who's gonna go get him. And I know that sounds crazy, but I guarantee there's someone out there who's trying to get their hooks into Jaden Daniels.
Maybe what he needs is for you to pop your titty out his mouth and let the boy grow up. Pop your titty out his mouth and stop babying him.
We're now tuned in to the Dark Times Challenge.
Back with another one, and recently superstar 24-year-old Washington Commanders Jaden Daniels was caught on camera with superstar USC women's basketball star Juju Watkins, and they were getting to know one another. They were getting acquainted with one another, and Mama Daniels wasn't having it.
Hey, mama, don't let him put that skin on nobody.
Listen, mama do not play that.
And I'm not the one to discourage or disparage parents, and particular mothers, from taking an active role in their sons' lives, no matter what the age. But at some point, it becomes something else.
Oh, you know what your problem is, baby boy? You got an Oedipus complex. You want your mama to be your woman, but this is my woman.
And I want to go ahead and get deep for a second, because from the outside looking in, this looks like it's a little bit more than a mom who's looking out for her son's best interest.
Because it's all about control, and I've got lots of it.
So she wears the hat of mom, biggest fan, and manager, as she is the one navigating his name, image, and likeness deals.
So when you guys think he's posting and he's not focused on the game, I'm the one actually posting. It's not him.
This is such a fun crowd. How crazy is it for you when you look out and see basically this whole room wearing your son's jersey?
I mean, it's awesome. You know, he loves the support. He's loved what everybody's brought to him and how many fans came out to support us. And guess what, guys? We're going to the bowl. We're going to go Super Bowl.
And like I said before, I'm not opposed to mothers helping their sons navigate, especially when it comes to the sports arena. We've seen this before with Lamar Jackson and his mother. Lamar Jackson's mother is very involved with his NFL career. She's actually his manager, and she's responsible for negotiating the deals that Lamar Jackson and his likeness are involved in. But she does so behind the scenes. You rarely see Lamar Jackson's mom out and about in front of the camera, chaperoning him to games and this and that, because she understands it's not about her. It's about Lamar. And this right here is a perfect example. This is a basketball game that they attended in which the camera was on him, and she's telling him to get off the phone. She's pointing to the camera. Hey, the camera's on you. You got to get off the phone. You know, it's important to make sure you take care of your image and your likeness, to make sure that you don't mess up the bag. You don't mess up any kind of future deals or endeavors. But at the same time, he's an NFL quarterback. He's not the Queen of England. And up until this point, nobody really had an issue with Jaden Daniels' mother and their relationship, and people still don't. But after the other day, in which Juju Watkins and Jaden Daniels were on camera talking to one another, getting very cozy with one another, you know, like I said earlier, just getting to know one another. Innocent. It almost reminded me of Love and Basketball, especially since Juju Watkin plays for USC. And so it had that kind of vibe going on. And a lot of people thought that image was rather refreshing to see. And y'all know what I'm talking about. And everything was going fine. Jaden Daniels' mother was actually on the side of Juju Watkins, and they were talking to one another. And once Jaden Daniels' mother noticed that the camera was on them, she inserted herself in between them.
When the camera panned back to them and the mama, Jaden's mama was sitting in between them. She's very known for being outspoken about her son's dating life and her saying that nobody's sinking their teeth into her son. So some people are saying that she was hating.
As if to let Jaden Daniels know, hey, the camera's on you. You can't be seen with Juju Watkins. And that's what people had an issue with. I had an issue with that, because look at the look on Juju Watkins' face. You don't do that to a Juju Watkins. Juju Watkins is just as noticeable as Jaden Daniels, if not more so.
JuJu Watkin!
Especially in that college basketball environment. And so to do that, especially to Juju Watkins, I thought it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for Juju. And it was embarrassing for Jaden, because there was nothing that needed to be protected in that instance. You're talking about a high profile, a high caliber woman in JuJu Watkins, has got her own money, has got her own career, has got her own fans, her own following. By all accounts, a very upstanding young lady. And that's the kind of woman you want your son talking to. And that's what a lot of people said. If anything, that's the kind of woman you should want Jayden Daniels talking to, being seen with. And so a lot of people are questioning why Jayden Daniels' mother would do that, would put herself and insert herself in the middle. Was it really about protecting Jayden Daniels and protecting him from the camera for whatever reason? Or was it about her inserting herself to make sure that she maintains control? Because let's keep it real for a second. Jayden Daniels' mother's future is intertwined with her son. That's her retirement, that's her income, that's her everything, as well as it should be. There's no telling how much she sacrificed to make sure her son was at all those football practices, to make sure he had lunch, to make sure he had dinner, to make sure he had everything he needed to be in the position that he's in now. And so no doubt about it, it should be her retirement and it should be her everything. But she needs to be careful that she doesn't hold on so tight and squeeze so tight that he eventually turns against her and goes the other way. Because the moment he does meet that right one, that's a wrap. That's going to be Jayden Daniels' mother's disposition and attitude towards whoever he decides to settle down with. The son is always going to choose his woman, his wife.
If your mom and your wife are arguing for the passenger seat, who's sitting in it?
And mothers need to understand that. Just because he chooses his wife doesn't necessarily mean he's going to set you aside and kick you to the curb. That's never going to be the case. A son is always going to have a relationship with his mother. I'm not going to say always, because there's always exceptions to the rule. But if you did everything that you were supposed to do as a parent and everything was on the up and up, you did your best, a son is always going to be there for his mother. But I think somebody of that status needs to be careful that she doesn't find herself in a situation like Kobe Bryant, in which they refused to acknowledge the wife and they refused to go to the wedding, and it led to a lifetime of a situation not being what it should have been. And so we hope that's not the case. We hope that's not the case. But the optics, to me, didn't look good, and to a lot of other people as well. But those are my thoughts on it. Make sure you guys go ahead and chime in below. Keep the conversation going, and let me know how y'all feel about it. And as usual, peace and chaos.